Bucs, go Bucs. Go Bucs, go Bucs. Bucs, go Bucs. First and goal, gotta tough it out. Get in the end zone and call a hot route. O-line to beat, right down the street. To have Humphreys run right underneath. You know it's Bucs ball, we got the hardest D. Bring the pressure to the QB. You know it's routine, we got hard greens. Welcome to Tampa, welcome to Tampa. Go Bucs, go Bucs. Reppin' for my team. Go Bucs, go Bucs. You know we want the ring. Go Bucs, go Bucs. Welcome to the Bay. Go Bucs, go Bucs. Tune in with Buccaneer Blake. Bucs back, we can run the toss like Evans, looking like Randy Moss. And Jameis make the play after play. On the defense, you can't stop Levante. On my boy McCoy, who you can't avoid. At the Raymond James, you about to feel the pain. If you a Bucs fan, make a lot of noise. If you a Bucs fan, make a lot of noise. Go Bucs.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Bucs Report, live online, Facebook, for the 63,000 fans and followers from the Buccaneers from Tampa Bay all the way to Indianapolis, all the way to across the ocean, all the way to Anchorage, Alaska, which is cool, which I've been a fan there before. But you are here with the BUCnBLAKE Sports Show live. You know what today is. You know, Mondays are my normal day at 3 p.m. We're going to do a little pregame talks talking about the Giants and stuff like that. So take your time, sit back, get something to drink, strap yourself in, because we're going to go over a few videos and stuff like that. And I'll still play some stuff. There's Buccaneers.com provides a lot of great videos and stuff and keep you fans informed of what's going on with the team and stuff like that. So I just want to get my stuff out, and I want to get, some of the stuff that they got going on as well. So here we go. But first, there's nothing else going on. There's so many podcasts and other shows I want to give out a shout out to. Buck Ball Podcast, Red Flag Podcast, Buck What You Heard, Cannon Fire Podcast, Real Bucs Talk, and Pewtercast, of course. And make sure to check out all those on BucsReport.com. Check out my website on the bottom, BucnBlakeSports.com, and all other social media that you see on the bottom third of the page here. So we're just going to start off with Leftwich talking about the offense. The way the offense has been, a little bit behind. Defense should be ahead of the offense, as always. So, I'll let it run as it is. Here we go.
How's everybody doing? Good. Excellent.
Last time we talked to you, there were a few turnovers this week, or this past week, no turnovers. So talk about the improvement that you made as an offense in that regard.
Not just there. I think we made improvements really across the board, really. I think that's what good football teams got to do. We got to get better week in and week out. I like the way we practiced this week. We're getting there. We're getting there piece by piece. We're cleaning things up here and there. So a lot of good things happening right now for us. A lot of work being done, though. Still a lot of work being done. But we're just going to continue to try to keep getting better every week.
Is there still an element, Coach, where you're trying to figure out what each guy does best and how they fit into your scheme, or are you comfortable at that point?
I don't think that ever stops, right? I don't think that thought process ever stops, because your whole thought process is always trying to get your guys in position to play well. So I just think it's the process of a new system, guys are, doing new things, and it usually takes some time. But I really like where we're heading. I think I got a good idea of what we can and can't do as a team. I think I got a good idea of our personnel. And we just in a good spot right now. We just in the process of trying to do whatever we can to try to win football games.
Maybe one of the early surprises, O.J. Howard hasn't really gotten involved in terms of catches. How much of a focus does that need to be coming up?
Well, I don't know if it need to be a focus. I just think O.J. will win his matchup when the ball come his way. The ball just didn't come his way Sunday night. Wasn't nothing that he didn't really do or he has done. I just think sometimes the ball don't come your way. I believe it came his way week one. I believe it came his way week one. It just didn't come his way. He's not doing nothing wrong or doing anything. We all need to get better, as a whole, and the ball just didn't get his way Thursday night.
There's been a lot of defensive focus kind of take him out of games? Have you noticed?
I mean, if I was a defensive coach, I would worry about him. You know, I would worry about him. Not to say that they're doubling him, especially when you got guys like Mike on your team. Mike has been seeing the double teams mostly, but it's just the ball didn't get that way. Just throughout the game, the ball just didn't get that way Thursday night, but he'll be fine.
I know that throughout the offseason, during camp, a point of emphasis with Jameis was having him not trying to be Superman and letting the guys around him help. Did you feel like Thursday night was a start to that? Because it seemed like he wasn't trying to do too much.
I don't know. All I can do is judge really like this year. I think for us to be a good football team, that's any quarterback too. Any quarterback got to understand, you come in this league, try to be Superman and try to win it all on your own, most of the time you're going to lose it. That's throughout the league with the position. So we just going to go out and make a bunch of routine plays. That's all we're trying to do. We're not trying to do anything special. We're just trying to go out and put these guys in position. They're good enough that their routine plays will win against some defenders, if not most defenders, because from a personnel standpoint. So we're just trying to just make sure we just keep toning up our system, keep screwing everything tight so we have a good idea of where we're going to be at, and guys, and James can have a good idea of where everybody's going to be.
You also talked about feeling like the world was on your shoulders back when you were a quarterback and that feeling after losses. How do you think he handled going from week one, the loss there, to week two? It seemed like he rebounded pretty nicely.
I mean, as good as you can handle it, right? I mean, it was a short week, really short week, and he just had to get ready to go to the next game. I promise you, by that Monday, we came in, watched the film, but we knew we had a tough opponent Thursday night. The worst thing you can do is talk about what just happened the day before. So we moved on. We learned from it as a whole, as a team, really. There's a lot of things showed up Thursday night from an improvement standpoint from that week one game. So as a whole, as a team, I think we got better. Hopefully we can continue to do that.
We talk a lot about offensive balance. How much can that be dictated by the play calling, and how much of that is kind of letting the game flow and trying to do both of them effectively enough to allow you to do it kind of organically?
Yeah, you want to do it organically, right? You don't want to, because you can't anticipate everything. You just want to call good plays that can be executed versus a lot of different coverages. So you can't always predict what the defense is going to be, and I wish we could, but you can't always predict that. So you just try to make sure that your execution is at a high level. And once you have that, it don't really matter what the defense is running from a coverage standpoint, what they're running from a front standpoint in the run game. You just want to get good plays called.
Are you getting enough from your number three with Perriman, or is it a situation like OJ where the ball's not coming his way? And if you aren't, is this going to give maybe some of the other younger guys an opportunity to get to see more snaps on Sunday?
No, we're fine. It's not like guys are missing the balls or dropping balls or anything. The balls just ain't came their way. I'm perfectly fine where we are with our third options.
Did you think Perriman should have caught the ball in the end zone or through his hands?
I believe that, and he believes that.
Let me ask you, the week one we saw Ronald Jones, had the most success on the ground. Week two, obviously Barber ran really hard. Was part of that Jones's injury, or just how do you?
Initially, yes, because his series was supposed to come up and he couldn't, make it back out there. So Peyton got the rolling a little bit. So that's a good thing when you have two guys like this, right? You don't really have to, hey, who's ever rolling, we're going to turn around and hand that guy the ball. We're going to turn around and hand somebody the ball. So regardless of who's rolling, we don't really care. We're just trying to get the production out of that position, and they did a great job of that Thursday night.
Hey, Coach, Mike Evans obviously is going to get the focus of the defenses, but what's allowed Chris to get off to such a good start?
Chris? Chris just winning his one-on-one matchups. Chris been, like I said, that group from a receiver standpoint had a really good summer, a really good training camp, and these guys are making plays when they're supposed to make the plays. He's winning his one-on-one matchups. He's getting in one-on-one situations, and he's winning. So that's always a good thing. It's not really nothing special. It's the work that he put in, the way that he approached the game is why he's been having this sort of success.
Is that touchdown, that you had two little posts, on that one side, Cole, I think one is OJ. Mm-hmm. Is that an example of what you're talking about, where they decide we're going to double OJ and leave a one-on-one with Godwin?
Yes, and if they would have did it the other way, OJ would have been the guy catching the touchdown. And that's just how it is. You just want to design good football plays. You can't determine who they decide to cover and who they don't cover. As long as we can execute good football plays and put our guys in position, we don't care. Trust me, we don't care who catches it, whatever happens after. We feel as though we got enough good football players that if we can get the football in their hands, they'll make enough plays for us.
That particular series there, I believe that was the one where Mike caught the deep pass, and then I think he went inside with Cam Braid, and then Chris Godwin on the touchdown. Did that finally start to feel like, all right, you know what, now offensively we're getting into a rhythm? And I know that was last game, but it just seemed like it really, momentum-wise, really swung things in your favor. It
was really the first series that we didn't have a penalty. When you sit there and look at it, that's part of growth. That's part of, understanding situational football and how you win football games. You try to not have as many pre-snap penalties as we had. We was in some tough situations there early, but that was our first series where we didn't get a penalty, and that just shows what we can do if we put ourselves in good situations. So I think the guys learned from that. They see it. We're addressing it. So it's something that, we as a team can all get better from just by being in these situations. Great film for us to sit and talk and teach through that film.
Anything else? Okay, thanks.
All right, guys. Thank you.
And there you have it. Byron Leftwich, offensive coordinator, passing coordinator with Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Video all provided for at Buccaneers.com, putting out great content. I couldn't say it better myself. That's why I like doing these things. I'm glad they put these videos out, and I just put it out to you guys so you know what's going on, the way they're thinking, preparing into the game. It's pretty much all I'm going to do is comment on what they talked about and say pretty much the same things they say. What I said about offensive struggles when we talked about our offense, it's an offense that's going to be changing every week. Sometimes the ball doesn't go your way. Maybe they change the coverage. Maybe they things. And this is why people say, oh, O.J. Howard's not involved. Mike Evans not getting the ball. Well, Mike Evans had a couple chances to score. He just didn't come down with the catch. Perriman dropped the pass. Sometimes they're rolling more coverage to Mike Evans, certain plays. On a certain play, you're not going to be able to get it to him. It's just the way it is. It's not like whatever. It's not black and white as everybody thinks. It's just like, oh, they're purposely not going to go to somebody at a certain point in the game or something like that. Yeah, they're going to call a play for somebody to get the ball, and if the coverage permits it, then you go at the, what you got drawn up. If not, you got to go with your other options, and those guys just got to win your one-on-ones. I just think Byron Leftwich has done a great job of describing what he's thinking and the things that they're trying to do on offense, because, I couldn't say it any better myself. That's why I like playing these videos. This coaching staff is a lot better than the previous regime before and Dirk Cutter. They don't give you riddled answers or don't sit up here in front of you guys and say, I don't know. He's going to give you an answer. So that's why I like you guys listening to that. But let me give a shout out to everybody and let you know what you're watching. You're on Bucs Report, watching Buck and Blake Sports live on Bucs Report. Talking about Buccaneer Blake Anthony's tape breakdown, baby. It's coming. Stay tuned. Get a coffee and relax. We're taking our time. There's no rush. Let me give a shout out to the fan, Felipe, Matt. What's going on? Roy Williams Jr., like the boxer, right? Charles Chaz Richardson, what's going on? Matt. Yeah, Matt, it seems like there's more to explain in offense. And Byron I think he does a good job trying to paint a picture of what he's trying to say, because it's not as easy. You don't know the terminology and stuff like that, so you got to say it for people that aren't as football savvy, and so as far as X's and O's and verbiage and stuff like that. Johnny Dean, what's going on? Matt Lovey was always defensive in his pressers. Yeah, because he's defensive. I get what you're saying. Yeah, there's a lot of people coming at him. It's a rough town here in Tampa Bay. They want to see winning, and as long as you giving the fans and stuff a direction of what's going on, I think they'll understand and get the picture. You're not gonna please everybody, of course, but it is what it is. So like he said, offense is going to get going. You got to find ways to get the ball to people. If it's not, you got to go to somebody else. If that doesn't work, you just got to find ways to win pretty much at the end of the day and capitalize on the opportunities you get. I'm not going to sum up. That's pretty much summing up what Byron Leftwich said. But, O.J. Howard was a big concern. I did have a little interview with O.J. Howard, too. But I think it was excessive after listening to that long press conference with Leftwich. I'm not going to keep doing that to you. I'm going to go on to some other stuff. So let's talk about the Giants now. That's what we're here to talk about today, prepping for the Giants. Because my shows are normally Monday at 3 p.m., and that's the after game show, and we're going to talk about that. But Thursdays, if permitted, I'm going to talk about the game beforehand. So we'll start with the Giants. They only scored 31 points on offense. They've given up 63 on defense. Hence why the change at quarterback came. Daniel Jones is somebody I'm very familiar with. I am a Tar Heel, so you should understand with the rivalry between Duke and North Carolina, and I'm very familiar with watching Daniel Jones grow up and playing in college and now getting to watch him play on the NFL level. Didn't like him when he was at Duke. I got no beef with him now. College ranks is over. It's time for the big boys now. So, Giants offense, of course, the plan is to stop Barkley. They know we're going to try to stop Barkley. We know we're going to try to stop Barkley. I don't think I should really put more into it than that. So you leave your other options. One of their favorite receivers is Benny Fowler, the receiver. I think his first name. Fowler's the last name. He's 6'3". They have a great offensive line. Put a pin in that. We'll get to that in a second. And you got Daniels now starting the quarterback, and you got the tight end Evans, which I think they're going to try to get us with the way they run their offense. So if Barkley doesn't get off in this game, it's going to be Evans and Fowler they're going to be trying to get this ball to. Johnny. Oh, Shaq, yeah. Shaq got to do a little better in his interviews. He cracks me up. And that's what their offense is going to be like. And they have a pretty stout offensive line. At least 4 of them, at least. The 5th one is the weak link. Do you guys know who the weak link is? Who is it? Can somebody tell me who the weak link on the Giants offensive line is? And when I bring it up, you're going to be like, oh, that guy. I forgot about him. Do you know? Anybody in the chat? Do you know who the weak link is on the Giants offensive line? Who is it? Who can it be? You are the weakest link. Nope. Let me show you. Do you remember this guy? You remember that game? Do you remember who that right offensive tackle was in that game, giving up all those sacks? Yes, none other than the infamous Mike Remmers is the Giants' right tackle. He loves giving up 3 sacks, 3 sack patties, 3 sandwiches, just like Barrett had last week. And I hope he gets 3 more against him, against the young Daniels. So, with that being said, I'm looking forward to us trying to capitalize on it. It might be Carl Nassib's week this week. This might be his week to finally get off and have some success this season. He's been there. He's created a lot of pressure along with the pocket being pushed and stuff like that. So hopefully it gets started. It's not that they're not doing it. The collective of the whole defensive line is doing great this year. Like I said, the numbers, you guys just don't focus on sack numbers. I told you before, I could care less. If everybody on the defensive line had 6 sacks and nobody reached double digits, that means everybody was contributing. But everybody still contributes in this new scheme. It just doesn't show up in the form of a sack or a tackle. It could be because you pushed the lineman back into the quarterback. Somebody else was able to get the sack. You made the play, but you didn't technically make the sack. So football's funny like that. And if people just want to go by numbers, that's why Raheem Morris said stats are for dummies. It's not always true. That's certain things you don't know, the ins and outs of some parts in the game. But those who played higher levels than high school, you understand the importance of gap integrity, doing your job, making sure everybody's on the same play, knowing what your defensive reads are, if you're going to make an audible out of zone and man, inside, outside leverage and things like that. That's what's going to happen. But this defense seems to be all clicking together. That's why I'm not so keen on everybody talking about trades with Jalen Ramsey and stuff like that. Everything is working right now. Why should we, try to change it just for the sake of the fact that somebody's giving them up? I personally would like to see Taco Carlton come here, first-round prospect, or first-round draft pick, cut. We're fifth on the waivers. He doesn't cost us anything, and he's still young, like 24, 25 years old. But at worst, he doesn't work out, and we cut him. Didn't lose anything. Didn't give up any picks. Didn't give up any players. Those are the kind of pickups I want to make, and that's what New England did when they picked up Caleb Benenot. Didn't cost them anything. Tired of giving up picks and all that for players, and then they don't end up working here, and then we're the ones sitting up with our thumb up or you know what. But that's just what happens, and we got to change that mentality here. Can't pick up everybody all the time and give up picks. I'm not down with giving up picks. Let's go to the chat line. Barrett's interview, yep. Yep, Johnny said the same thing. Gap integrity, wrapping up tackles. That's what's going to happen in this game. You're going to have to wrap it up. Any inch you give Barkley, he's going to be out like a light. Going to be gone. Matt says the Giants, we should have blown out. Should have a blowout kind of game. True rookie QB was visibly nervous in his first press conference. Is that a sign he will be nervous in the start? Yeah, if we get pressure on him, of course, you make him uncomfortable. Nope, blocked him out of my mind. Ron Allen, what's going on? Johnny Dean, I think that will reinforce Shaq's side. That's going to leave it open for Nassib. Well, I think they'll move Shaq to both sides. I think I had this conversation before. You don't really double a defensive end pass rushing with a guard. It's going to leave all types of gaping lanes open in your pass protection. You're going to have to use a tight end or a back to chip him. They can't cover everybody on the line. Nassib is due. Absolutely, Mac. And that's the part, Matt, that's the part of everybody doing their job. Ravens had tossed their hat in the Ramsey lottery. Of course, they are a defensive caliber team. They love defense. With the pressure they like to amount, doesn't surprise me. Matt, New England won't have Caleb on the field much. He's just depth. He might be there to get him a free ring. He'd be like, thanks, Tampa. Whatever. I've seen this story too many times. Whatever. Best of luck to him. Got no. Yeah, they will use a tight end, of course. Best of luck to him. Don't wish nothing bad upon anybody. He never done anything to me. I just didn't think he was a good guard. That's pretty much all I have against him. But let's go into some of the tape here. You guys want to start? We'll start with. We're talking about offense right now. We're talking about Daniel Jones. This is what I'm talking about, right? Yep, Daniel Jones. I keep saying Daniel Jones. Let's check it out. One play I despise. I remember this game like it was yesterday, and it's going to hurt a little bit to play this. But these are things he can do. This boy can run. He has wheels. Don't think he's a pocket quarterback. Well, he is. And you're going to have to cover tight. All right, here it is. Sees man coverage, takes off. That's Daniel Jones running. Out running the whole defense, MJ Stewart, the whole gang. Now look at these reads they're going to make here. Now as I got it in slow motion. They make the read. You send the back out to the flats. And then you have a curl right in that crease. So they're going to be waiting for you, the outside backer or somebody to flow to that and then throw right where you left from. Now he's careless with the ball. Here's another play. Back swings out the back. Sits right down. But if he saw the safety, you see the guy trailing from behind was the safety. And he went up top to the wide receiver. So if he sees one-on-one, he's going to go to it. Same thing. Back comes out the flats. And he throws a post right where the linebacker left from him. It was a tight window, but he can get those in there if you allow him to. Same thing. Back crosses, pass protects on this play, run curls across the board, throw to the easy receiver for the first down. This is what the offense is going to look like. I promise you. These same throws are what you're going to see on Sunday. Nice, easy throws, getting them in the rhythm. Crossing routes, throwing it. Let's check it out down here in the goal line. Safety's in the middle of the field. Where do you think the ball's going? I'll take a guess. To the wide receiver, to the short side. There it is. Easy throw, touchdown. He's going to take exactly what the defense gives us. And that's pretty much what the Giants ran with Eli Manning. It's the same thing. You got option routes there. The back coming out, if you can throw it to back, especially throwing to a back like Saquon Barkley, who's probably going to make the first guy miss and then pick you up 10 or 15 extra yards. I mean, that's a good option to have, dumping it to Barkley or be able to get it to one of your wide receivers. And if we play tight coverage on these guys, these wide receivers coming across, I think we should have some success, get our hands on some balls and make some interceptions at least. But they're going to make the offense real simple for them. It's going to be a run heavy. It's going to be some play actions. There's going to be some bootlegs. Get Daniel Jones outside the pocket. There's going to be a lot of that stuff. But we have to contour them to call certain plays, make them one-sided to play calling instead of having them the playbook just wide open against us. And if we give an inch, they'll take a mile. So we have to keep them bottled up. Giants, like I said before, they only scored 31 points in 2 games with Eli Manning. They're hoping to get more up. So And our defense is playing well, so anything that's going to happen, I'm sure Todd Bowles is going to make some changes. Let me go to the chat line here. Johnny Dean, do the Giants still use a full fullback? I don't think many teams use. I think if they do, it's going to be one of the extra tight ends. He isn't going to see much 4-3 zone reads from us. Oh, no. And I mean, this is his first year, so he doesn't know us for that. He's just knows us for these 2019 Buccaneers, this 3-4 attacking defense Buccaneers. So that's stuff he's going to have to I'm not going to say get used to. It'll be his first time. Matt, Daniel Jones, we just need to confuse the kid, show him one thing and do another, and fire drill blitzes. We can't afford to let him get comfortable. Nope. But as you see, he'll make a quick decision. If he sees one-on-one, he's going to give the receiver a shot, and he'll throw that right up there. Bucs defense, we're starting in fantasy. If you don't let Saquon Barkley get loose, then I think it'd be a good idea, Jesse. Jones won't have seen any of the reads Bowles is going to be showing him. It's not like the Bucs haven't already beaten a good young mobile QB, Kyler Murray. Oh yeah, we play him too this season, so it's going to be interesting. So the Bucs got to keep preparing for mobile QBs. Will O.J. Howard bounce back this game? Jesse, I wanted to play that interview with Howard. Howard says he's familiar with blocking. He's familiar with blocking and helping other people make plays. It's just like Leftwich said, it wasn't like we're not going to him. Just certain reads, some plays, one person gets doubled, this person gets doubled. It depends on what the defense is scheduled to stop on this particular series, and then you got to go to your other options, and then they got to come away with the play. You got to find the hot. Football is a true team sport, especially on offense or on defense. It is a true team sport. Because what one thing the defense does, you got to come and counteract with the other and find ways to move the ball and keep your offense on the field and keep your defense resting. Where we at? Oh, Daniel Jones. So let's get into Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley with the Giants offense. Because I got stuff for their defense as well. Saquon Barkley. Here you go. Got the wide receivers tight. Throw a screen out to Barkley. Or a toss play out to Barkley. Goes up the sideline. And there it is. Let's see what the next play is here. Yep, the other view, I just got it in slow. Look at the blocking. You allow him to get the edge, he's going to give you a headache. 230, 40 pounds running that fast. And he's not going to run you over, he's going to juke you. Here's another play, another formation. I'm not sure if you guys got there yet. Like I said, I got it in slow motion, so it's not going so fast. If you want, I can play it again a second time if you guys missed it. Now this other run play here, it's a simple like zone run. He wants you to overplay your gap, and he's gonna run right back where you came from, and then just outrun you to the corner. That's exactly what he's gonna do. It's just like a zone read, keeps his shoulder square, and is able to bounce back, and then takes it to the house because he's got the speed like that, and he'll run you over if he's got to. And again, slow motion here. Line blocks down. Barkley makes it seem like he's going right, but comes back left. Has one guy to beat, and then it's a foot race. If he's even, he's leaving. That's what I've always been taught by Mr. Richard Bailey. If he's even, he's leaving. It's just the same play, screen pass here. Like I told you, I'll let you play it again, but that's pretty much what the things are going to happen here with Saquon Barkley, man. It's like you can't overplay stuff. I know you want to shoot to the gap and all that, but he's expecting you to, and he's just going to step right around you and then outrun you to the corner. He's going to beat you to a pass. He's going to run past you and make a catch. It's just in so many ways, just like Christian McCaffrey. And I'm sure Bowles and them are going to approach this the same way with McCaffrey. But they're a little different. They're same, but they're a little different. One's big and can run and catch. One's little who can run and catch. The Saquon Barkley can hurt you in so many ways. I'm going to still let this play. I'm just going to read some of the questions here. O.J. Howard, Matt says O.J. Howard is going to be fine. He's been covered up for a reason. The defense dictate who can receive a pass. That's the best way you can put it. They do. And it's your choice if you want to force the ball there or not, but you got to go to your other options. Oh, Johnny Dean's replying to Matt. He's been blocking it. OJ's gone off for passes. They're just covering him up underneath, which they should. All you gotta do is hold on to the ball. Jesse Torres says, do they start Ryan Smith when he gets back? Ryan Smith wasn't starting when he was active, and he's had plenty of chance to take the starting roster spot on this team, and he has yet to do that. I don't think so, no, to answer your question. And he's an NC Central guy, so, I root for my Carolina people, so I don't think he starts over anybody. Johnny Dean not going to stop Barkley, contain him is the key. Yep. You hold him as much as you can when you can on big downs. That's pretty much it. Bruce Arians and everybody want to pretty much say the same thing. But it's just, what are you going to say? You're not going to defeat. You're going to come out there, battle like men, and contain what you contain and allow what you're going to allow. And you want to keep Daniel Jones and long down and distance. They're going to throw it to Barkley underneath, hoping he's going to make a big run and get the first down or go to Fowler over top in one-on-one situations. So Hargreaves and Carlton Davis are going to have their hands full. And I believe they're going to stick a smaller receiver on Carlton Davis because Carlton Davis is very handsy. He's picked up a lot of penalties on pass interference and defensive holding calls. So that's something going to come at. Vernon's played very smart. And it's just night and day, man. Cut this dude coming back from one defense to another. I think he was going to play well last year, sparingly the injury that happened to him. But I'm just looking forward to a big season from him. I'm looking forward to it, man, anytime. Like I told you, we got defense, too. We're over Daniel Jones, Barkley. Let's go over. What do you guys got here? Not going to stop. Okay. Jesse, update on Devin White and JPP on returning. No updates changed on JPP. Devin White is scheduled to play. As far as that right now, as far as he's scheduled to play. Period. Let's talk about the defense here. Unless you guys got more on the offense. You just keep putting in the comments. Again, if you're just tuning in, you're on Bucs Report Live with Buck and Blake Sports on Blake Anthony's tape breakdown. I'm going to do every week. Talking about, you guys want to see Madden stuff? You want to see what Madden thinks about us winning? I can do that too. Play some videos from Twitch and stuff like that. If you guys are interested in that, I do run a Bucs Report Madden League. If you're interested in that, email me at buckandblakesports@gmail.com. It is ran on the PS4 platform. And this is for fun. Winner gets a replica Lombardi trophy. I'm playing for fun. I think I have a Buck and Blake Sports League too. But let's go into the defense. So what do we have here? Safety drops down in the box. I assume somebody's going to shoot back where he left from. And that's Marcus Golston, somebody who they should be familiar with. He played with Arizona with Todd Bowles and Bruce Arians in Arizona. Don't worry. I give you two versions of it. You get that view, you don't get the line of scrimmage view. Yes, I know. I have a lot of time watching videos when I get it. But I like to provide this content for you fans to understand the game a little bit better than you did the day before. Not saying you don't. It's for those who don't. See that? You have no protection in the backfield. I'm lighting up like a Christmas tree. Let's bring it, boys. Dogs is coming out. Here we go. Here we go. Marcus Golston beats his man, gets under pressure, comes back, makes that nice play for a nice sack sandwich. And it looks like a, possible fumble maybe, depending on the replay. Here's another one. Now, I said earlier, I don't think the Giants receivers DBs cover speedy receivers too well. And those linebackers tend to flow with the quarterback. They don't tend to feel the receivers when they're in coverage. They tend to stare at the quarterback and kind of roll with the quarterback, which you'll see on this replay here is why I said speedy receivers. I think is going to hurt them. I think this is the week that Scotty Miller gets his chance if he plays. Just watch the linebackers on this play. When Allen comes around, 1, 2, 3 guys are running with the quarterback. Receivers running wide open. He said, thanks, guys. This is too easy. And we'll take that nice first down. John Brown couldn't stay on his feet. Should have still been running, possibly scored. But that's the way the cookie crumbles, as they say. Here's another one here. Is this a sack or is this pass play here? I try not to pre-watch the videos, tend to sometimes, because I want to get a natural read on watching videos with you guys so you can kind of see what's going on here. Simple pass play. Josh Allen has nowhere to go and gets sacked. Don't worry, we'll bring you a closer view. You can't really see much on that. I'm going to get to the chat line here in a second. Just bear with me. It's another view here. I got it in slow-mo. See the Giants running out. What was that? 2-4-5 here. 2 interior linemen. Yep. Spreads them over. Or a 3-4 over. What we got here? What will we have? Making line adjustments. All right. Got what he wants. Let's call for the snap. They pinch down protection, leaving the end tackle one-on-one with the end. Can't find anybody. Takes a sack. Let's check the chat line. Devin White, JPP is not expected back till October. Yep, nothing's changed. Do the Giants have a defense? LOL. They have decent players in the secondary, but to say that they have a defense, they've gave up 63 points already in 2 games. I mean, we're not really one to talk being 29 points a game last season, but if we play down to our competition, then their defense could be a problem. Welcome to the show, Flash. There he goes. Roberts, Christopher Cole, Johnny Dean. Look at the hole in their zone. Hole. You see what I mean, Johnny? Do you see the linebackers just staring at Josh Allen? That's what I mean. If Winston can get a really, really good play fake and get that in there, them linebackers and DBs are staring at the quarterback, and these receivers are running right by them, and he's wide open, like wide open. That's why it's important on defense to know your reads and stay with what you know. I think people on defense tend to just stare at the quarterback sometimes, unless he's really, really a running threat. Then you want to kind of keep one eye on him, kind of gecko kind of thing. You want to keep one eye on him and one eye on the wide receivers. But you got to cover your wide receivers that's going to make the quarterback hold the ball until you get a sack. By you staring at the quarterback and receivers just running right behind you like, woohoo, and then catch the ball like 5 feet from you because you weren't looking, you have no momentum going in that direction, that kind of stuff is going to kill you. And here it is again, one more time for you, Johnny Dean. Does a open boot, comes back, 1, 2, 3 defenders are rolling with the quarterback. Nobody's worried about covering any wide receiver. He possibly could have threw that deep to whoever that is running downfield. Nobody was covering him. And that's pretty much what you're going to get with the defensive line there. It's not really scary. They got DeMarcus Lawrence from Clemson on the defensive front. He's yet to show up yet. We're going to see how he's got on the pro level. He dominated in college, so we'll see. We'll see what he's got. Flash, there you go. I'm hoping Evans is going to get it going this week. I think it'll be a good matchup for him. He's going to probably play against Janoris Jenkins a lot. But it's going to be whatever the coverage if they don't play a man under, which is a safety over top, man underneath. We'll see. But whoever gets the ball thrown to him just got to capitalize on opportunities. Bills number 77 got tricked on that defensive shift. Oh, yeah, definitely. What's going on, Vernon? Swango Jr. Dude, Godwin, Evans, Howard, and Winston should have a field day Sunday. You see the gaps in it? It's there, man. You just got to protect the front. And that's the one thing the Bills did. They gave him protection on those bootlegs. Just got to protect the quarterback, man. There's not much to say that if you want success and great passing yards and all that, you gotta let your quarterback be comfortable and not have to worry about somebody getting beat all the time, and they just got to worry about getting strip sacked. It's one thing. It's a team sport. If one person doesn't do their job, the other person can't do theirs fully. They've got to supplement your lack thereof to do their job, and that's just happened too many in Tampa Bay, and that's why sometimes we tend to defend certain players and stuff like that because it's just been a nuisance here in Tampa Bay. That would have been a good one, Godwin TD. Oh, definitely, because you saw the receiver coming down the sideline on that play. Ooh, Lord, there's just too much time to be giving your wide receivers running back there with your DBs trying to cover them coming all the way across the field. Just not a good situation to be in. Nothing else. Okay. Oh, is that everything? Oh, there's been a hot topic. I know it's not Giants related, but it is Bucs related. And I did an article on it, and I posted videos and everything. What do you think about this situation? Hold on. What do you think? Who do you think should start? Who? Barber versus Jones. Death battle. Death match. Barber, Jones. Second round stud, undrafted gem. Who do you think should get the start? This should be the young up-and-coming Barber, or the young some hero, Ronald Jones, the speedster that put on some bulk, puffing up, getting ready for the season. Who do you think? I think it should just stay as is. I think they got, like Leftwich said, they got certain series coming up where they put backs in. I'm sure certain situations they're going to put backs in, people into. I think this coaching staff really knows what they're doing. Anytime anybody asks them any questions, they know what's going on. They're not unsure. They're not going to say you don't know in a meeting unless it's something they don't know, because there's stuff you just don't know, like especially right after a game. You're asking about somebody's injury. I haven't checked on it yet. I have to come right from here and talk to you guys. Stuff like that. This is just a much more nice ran organization than it's been in the past years. And there's something else that has been talked about. The female coaches, I think they've been doing a great job training in the other with the defensive line, getting a chance out here to come out here and show that women can coach men and share their thoughts and knowledge on stuff like that, because sometimes somebody from the different gender could bring a different perspective to something that you couldn't understand. There's a lot of great female athletes. Yes, they're not men, and they might not be as strong and things like that and can't compete against us, but there's a lot of women that are competitors. And me going to the gym all the time, I admire seeing other women with that kind of ambition and stuff like that, and they want to show what they got. It's kind of like being, I know Stephen A. talks about this stuff, and I don't really like doing it either, but I think I can talk about this a little bit. With them coming in and getting all this, independency and getting all these rights and stuff like that, and the soccer team asking for equal pay, I've got nothing against that. If they're putting in the work and the effort, why shouldn't you pay them for with their qualifications? Which comes to being, like Stephen A. goes on about this a lot. I don't really like to do it, but I'm going to talk about it coming like that because I can speak on it. Being a black man, and you fit different stereotypes, what people think you capable of, what they think that you believe in, what they think just by looking at you, or just wearing a hat, just wearing a certain label of clothing, just listening to certain music. They think there's people that think everybody fit a certain objective. You fit in this box. You check this box when you don't know anything about the person, or what their qualifications are, what educational levels they are, or what their beliefs and stances are about things. I've always been a person that likes to go by true statistics and stats and stuff. Do I get caught up sometimes emotionally? Yeah, in certain things, but I try not to do that anymore. And college really helped me with doing that, not getting caught up in initial reaction to things and learning to do research on stuff like that. But I think it's a great opportunity for these women to get a chance here, and I don't think we talked about that enough. The Buccaneers also have a male cheerleader here in Tampa Bay, and I think some other teams have it as well. And he's doing great out there. I'm glad nobody said anything bad about him. I'm glad nobody said anything bad about these women working with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and doing a fine job and being a class act. I'd like to see people being able to do the things that they love without being criticized. It's too much not being people trying to come together and people trying to find reasons to not work together. I think that's really an issue that I really have a problem with, in this country and communities and things like that. But when I do see people doing that, I will recognize it and I will applaud them for doing that. I know it was a little rant, but I just wanted to go over that. Let me just go to the chat line. Again, you're watching Buck and Blake Sports live on Bucs Report, talking about Buck and Blake, Buccaneer Blake, or Blake Anthony's tape breakdowns. If you missed it, please rewatch it. There's plenty of tape. I told you guys, take your time, get your coffee. I don't know if you're at work, driving home after hard days of work. I know Peter and the guys are going to go later, but I wanted to get my session out here early so I can get about my day. Let me go to the chat line here. Make sure. Yep. Johnny says, whoever is a hot hand, I'm with you. Vernon, got to go with the hot hand and stop putting in Dare. Dare can do Bucs. Don't hate on Dare. Don't you do that. Who was that? Don't you do that, Vernon. Don't you hate on Dare. He did mess up, though, in the first game with the pick. He left Jameis high and dry. Anton, he says, Jones. Christopher Cole, do we need to trade for Trent Williams or not? You'll never hear me never complain about going for offensive lineman or defensive lineman. I think I've made my point clear. You win and lose games with offense and defensive line. Giants beat the Patriots both times. Subpar corners. Monstrous D-line. I don't think I need to say anything else about that. Johnny Dean, but the answer, I love Trent Williams, been good in the league since. It's just, what are they asking for? Johnny Dean, not naming a starter at running back keeps the other team off their game. They don't know who to game plan for, and Barber and Jones are completely different backs. Absolutely. They are not the same at all. Jones wants to get out and break it, and I do want to see him in open field and show off that speed, but he's doing a great job controlling taking on what's given to him and holding on to the ball. He's doing great, and they are different. Barber's a little more shiftier than people give him credit for, and he can catch a lot better. He's just getting better. That's the best part. He's just getting better. I know everybody wanted to start, get it back, and be good from day one like Saquon Barkley, but you're getting to watch it. You're getting to watch a guy be developed. You're getting a chance to watch it. So hopefully 2 years or a year and a half or this year from now, you'll be like, damn, I remember when we picked up Barber undrafted, who came out of Auburn after 1 year, was really wet behind the ears. And here he is, he's a top 10 back in the league. You get to watch it. It's great. It's a great feeling. Johnny, okay, we talked about that. Vernon, I think Byron Leftwich needs to get Howard and Brate more involved in the game plan because Winston feels more comfortable with his two tight ends in the game and catching passes. When you do that, you make your play calling a little more predictable. But I think Johnny said it in the chat room earlier, the defense really dictates who you're throwing it to, because if they're going to double this guy on this play, you're going to double that. And Cameron Brate and O.J. Howard offer two different skill sets. Cameron Brate offers no run or pass blocking ability, which O.J. Howard does. That's why O.J. tends to play more than Cameron Brate, because you kind of get it's kind of easy to figure out what you're trying to do if you put Brate in the game. But I think you're doing yourself disfavor taking out Perryman with his speed, and teams having to adjust that to keep a safety over top of him just in case he outruns whatever would be corner that's in front of him. But I'm down with whatever fits in the scheme of the game. I don't care who gets the ball, just like Leftwich said in the interview I played earlier. Who cares? As long as the offense is winning, we're all winning. Johnny Dean. Okay, Johnny Dean, we won't. Trent has been in hiding. It would be a nice, but Arians believes in homegrown as much as possible, as he is giving up a lot for any player. Yeah, he's all about homegrown players. It's cheaper, and you don't have to give up anything unless it's something that you need right away due to an injury or something like that. I agree, Johnny. Not up a lot on not giving up a lot. Yeah. Vernon again replying to Chris. I don't think so, because Trent Williams will do nothing but cost the Bucs money they don't have. We do have money next season. Johnny Dean, Winston missed Hump more than anything. Yeah. Hump was available for him all the time. One thing I didn't like about Hump, he couldn't really break that first tackle a lot. But otherwise than that, surefire hands, made every catch. Glad he's getting a chance to be a starter somewhere. But I said before, I think Hump comes back. I think he doesn't live up to his contract, gets cut, and comes back to Tampa Bay. The return of Hump. Return of the Mac. Yes, I am. Return of the Mac. I think he comes back. Vernon responded to Vernon. Yes, you're right, but that's why Winston needs Howard and Brate. Yep. Could Dare be converted to a fullback? Why? Nah, I don't think he offers any blocking. I think he's there for depth. Somebody's going to get hurt at some point. Somebody's going to get banged up, and Dare's going to get his chance. And I'm comfortable with that. And I've said that with Peter several times this offseason and preseason. I think the word starter is being overhyped. I just figured if you're rolling right now, then roll with it. You know what I mean? I'm cool with whatever works to move this offense. Vernon Blake, to be honest, Dare got caught up in our line. Yeah, he went over. He should have went under the screen because the blocking was perfect. He should have went under it. Instead, he went over and screwed us in that game. Him and Winston both. Flash, I like how Jones has been hitting the hole with authority instead of stuttering. Yeah, and that's what he's learning. Just take what it gives. You see it in him where he wants to bounce it. He's like, screw it. Let me just put my head down. And he's breaking tackles. So I like that maturity that he's changed. He's still learning. It's going to take some time. Matt replying to Flash, yeah, but he got injured last week. Not sure if he was hurt, but his sideline him and Barber was a stiller. He did get hurt. It wasn't because they got his toe stepped on. And let me tell you, my right toe still hurts from being stepped on from cleats. And it seems like no matter what you do, anytime in that game, somebody at some point steps on that same spot that you don't want nobody to step on it. And they'd rather take him out. Barber was rolling and not risk him getting any hurt any further. Johnny Dean, I hot Brett starting this week in my fan. Oh, you hope Brate's starting because you got him playing in your fan league. I got Brate starting in my fantasy league this week. We'll see. I'm not really a huge fantasy guy. I'm not going to sit up here and pretend, but it is what it is. If you missed earlier in the show, this is Bucs Report Live on Buck and Blake Sports, live on Facebook. Check me out, Buck and Blake Sports on Facebook. Check my website out, very fan-friendly site, BuckandBlakeSports.com, and any of my social media pages. Please send me anything to my email or Bucs Report page on a topic I think I read last week from a guy named Ethan talking about the Glaziers, and I shared my experience and the knowledge that I know from people that went to school with them and know a lot about them. And that's for any of you guys. If you got anything to put out, not dumb. It's nothing. There's no dumb statement, no dumb questions. It's some people know more than the other, and I'm not here for that. I'm here to share my thoughts and my experiences, playing my day and stuff like that, and and getting guys on here from different teams. I might get a guy on here that's out of the Washington camp and works now for NBC. Daryl Johnson. Ex-teammate of mine. He just got left out of there at Washington camp. Hopefully I can get him on here for the Monday show. I know he's got a busy schedule. If you're watching Daryl, they're waiting for you. He's on my friends list if you find him. Going back to the text line. Johnny D and Blake Anthony, I'm just trying to find the help. 20 teams are still using fullbacks, and I love the way they are being used. Now, last time we had a fullback, Doug was fresh. Dougie Fresh, right? Matt, Johnny Dean was stuttering thumbs. It happens like that. We type the same thing over and over again. Johnny, Matt, coast and toe. Arthritis bad today. Hey, man, it happens, Johnny, when you get up there in age, man. Just be glad you can still walk. I think that's all I have for videos and everything. I really don't have it. I know I showed you guys the weakest link was Mike Remmers. Mike Remmers is playing right tackle for them. Hopefully NASA can get him 3 on Mike Remmers. Get us a couple strip sacks, maybe a defensive touchdown would be nice. Ryan's only has one early in week 1 so far. I don't have much else to go over. Did I tell you guys what I predict about the game? Yeah, I predict the Bucs to win 24-14. Defense keeps under 17 points again. Barring the offense doesn't turn over the ball, I don't think I need to say the same thing over again. Don't turn over the ball. Run the ball on the ground. Get to the quarterback. I don't think I need to say those anymore. I'm not going to. I think that everybody says the same thing. Just getting better, manageable down in distances, so Winston doesn't have to feel he has to get all the yards back. Limit the dumb penalties. I will say that. Just limit the dumb penalties. 3rd and 17. Look for teams to try to throw a ball that hopefully you're going to get a pass interference or a defensive holding on to get a first down, because teams do that now. There's nothing there. Just force the ball to somebody and hopefully get a call. It happens now. It's a technique. That's why they're thinking about changing the pass interference calls to 10 yards or 15 yards instead of being a spot foul, because people are using those passes as leverage now to get yardage. All right. Matt says, is it true we are working on new uniforms? I don't know. I can't confirm that. I don't really have anybody that in the know that's in camp like that to give you that answer. But when I do, Matt, I will make sure to point it out. Excuse me, and tell you. I keep hearing the creamsicle is making a comeback. Johnny Dean's got 31-19 Bucs. It's a lot of points, but I'm down with it. Keep it. The part I like most is the defensive points. I don't care if we win by 4, 5, 6, 7. I just get the win and play great defense, and everybody keep continuity going together. Johnny, I wish, but there is no official word. Bucs have denied it. I don't care about uniforms. Me personally, the issue to me is we change so much and don't keep any continuity together. That's from coaching on down to everything else, from quarterbacks, except for Winston being here as long as he's been. Needs to keep some continuity here and stop changing interchangeable pieces. But I've got nothing else. You've been fun. Appreciate you guys checking me out. This is always a Bucs Report Live, Buck and Blake Sports on Facebook Live. Check my website out, BucnBlakeSports.com. Twitter, Buck and Blake. Facebook, Buck and Blake Sports. And IG at Buck and Blake, where I'm normally at a lot. Thank you, guys. And I will end this as we always end it. You're the master of everything. What you do with your life, what you do with it is entirely up to you. Thank you, guys. God bless, and fire those cannons.